Okay. Welcome to What Are We Doing? Okay? And I'm your host, Wolfgang Beaumont. Wolfgang Ishmael Beaumont. Okay? Now, I just had a pretty troubling meeting. Allow me to elaborate. I went down, first of all, I go downstairs. I live in very poor housing. You understand? I came from a shelter called Covenant House, and that's great. And it was not great. I got into a little program called Chelsea Foyer. It's a great program. And I now live with a bunch of fellow, formerly homeless people. Okay? They make us go to 2 meetings a month where, not like AA or anything, although it should be, because a lot of the people here need some help. A lot of them. They make us go to 2 meetings a month where you basically have to sit there and somebody comes in and they give you like a sandwich. Like they literally will bribe you with they knock on the door. First of all, the staff comes up to get you to go down there. They knock on the door and they go, There's food. There's food downstairs. If you come to the class, there's a little food. We have like sandwich or like Domino's. Even though we're in New York, they get this Domino's. Repulsive. Anyway, we go downstairs, and I'm not grateful. I occasionally dip into the Domino's. I like the Dom, in both sense of the word. Okay? But I go downstairs, and it's like sandwiches, whatever. I sit down, and there's this girl. All right, so everybody's pretty much down there. Allow me to set the scene. Allow me to set the table. There is one girl down there who is enormous. And that's fine if you're enormous, but okay, that's fine. But she's sitting there. She kind of looks like, if you've ever seen The Secretary, let me pull it up. If you've ever seen, let me type this in real quick. Secretary from Bob's Burgers. From Bob's Burgers. Not the secretary from Bob's Burgers, the other one. Miss LeBons. Hello? Oh, hold on. My roommates. Huh? Oh, yeah. I'm done. Hold on. Let me, what a fucking surprise. Everybody wants something. Everybody needs something. Okay? Back to my point. He just asked me if he could use my dishes. The answer is no. The answer's no. Because you don't clean them up. And that's why they get locked in a crate at the end of the night. Where you can see them, but you can't use them. That's why they get locked in a bin that I put on my fridge to flex the fact that they are mine. Okay? And I did allow him to just use one of mine, but he better fucking clean it up. He better clean it up. Because we're going to have a problem if he does not. Now, back to what I was saying about Miss LeBons. So, Miss LeBons, she looks like, she's like exactly Miss LeBons, but she's like a black Miss LeBons. So she's sitting there. She's real bright. And in her own way, I'm sure, but in every sense of the word, but her own way. She is not. Miss LeBons is there, okay? There's like this like Jesus queer that's there too, and I'm gay. I could say it. He's like there. He's got like this mullet with like this like it's like this crazy fucking mullet, and he's like kind of like this white guy, and he has like although he'd probably correct me and tell me that he's Hispanic, even though he's like the you know very 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 white. He's kind of just sitting there. And then there's this other girl that's sitting there. And now I've heard about this other girl. And she goes around telling people to call her Ghost. Okay? So that's the level of sanity that I'm sitting with. But I'm required to go to these little meetings, so that's fine. And I'll go, and I'll take the sandwich, okay? And that's fine. So, Ghost. What a fucking joke. That's like if I came down and came in and was like, hey, like my name's Wolfgang, but you could call me like Chevy Escalade. You could call me Escalade, Trackhawk, Bulletproof POTUS, because I'm the president of this shit. Call you Ghost. Give me a break. What is your name? Ghost. So Ghost is sitting there, and what I've heard about Ghost before I go into this, I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's great, and I'm sure she's a scholar too. And she's got like tattoos on her face, which is fine. It's a cross. It's a Jesus. She tattooed her face, a cross on her face for Christ. Just like 21 Savage. It's all for the Lord. What I've heard about Ghost is that he, I don't want to assume. She'll like go out with people and they'll go like to a restaurant, and I've heard this from a few people. She'll go to a restaurant and they will order food, and she will like right at the last second before they drop the bill be like, "Oh, you got this? You got this?" to like her friend that she went with. So she's like burdening people because of her finances, because she's a mess. All right? So that's the little bit that I've heard about Ghost. Spooky, huh? Spooky when you got to pay the bill for Ghost. It's a little frightening. It's a little bit frightening that when I sit down to dinner, I don't have the expectation of paying for two, nor do I have the means, and you order everything on the menu, and then it's like, "Oh, you got this? You got this?" Boo. So I go down and I sit with Ghost. Whatever. I like new people. I like weird people. I'm into it. I'm talking to Miss LeBon's Ghost and like the Jesus queer. And we're like kind of sitting there, whatever, and we're like eating sandwiches. And I bring up the fact that the last time that we had Domino's, because it is a grotesque thing to purchase in New York. I don't understand why people like the Domino's in New York City. You can literally taste the cancer. You can literally taste the cancer. If you are in New Jersey or New York and you are not on drugs, you do not order Domino's ever. And then I'm like talking about this, and LeBons gets up and she's like, "Well, what about the chicken, the fucking vegetable Domino's pizza? What about that?" You're not fooling anyone, LeBons. You're not ordering that, nor is anybody ever. Not fooling anyone. Okay? "What about the vegetable pie from Domino's? The vegetable one." The vegetable one. Give me a fucking break. You're getting meat lovers and you know it. Right? So I'm talking about that, and they're getting a little upset. People get a little bit upset when I speak my mind. I'll get into the group chat later. Okay, the family group chat that I was just a part of, because that's a problem. That's a big problem too. I'll get back to that. Let me put it in my notes. Family group chat. I don't have a producer yet, so get used to it. So LeBons is like trying to convince everybody that she's like healthy, even though she's enormous. Give me a break. And we're like sitting there, whatever. I'm talking about the pizza, and then I bring up a very funny point, which is also true, that the best food come from places you hate, places that have hate, Places that have real, visceral disgust for other places. Do you get it? I'll give you an example, okay? World War II ends, and it's well known, although not well talked about, that Italians and Japanese were in the Axis powers. It is a fact. But everybody kinds of shills it on the Germans, and the reason why is because they don't really have, like they have good food, and it comes from a place of hate, yeah, sure. But like it was too much hate, and it kind of poisoned the food a little bit. And that's why a lot of German food isn't really like it's good, it's fine. Okay? It's better than a lot of foods, but it's not like Italian or Japanese food. Okay? There's a reason that there's a Nobu in every fucking state. And it's the fact that they had hatred. Okay? The fact that no one really taught. Italians are the most racist fucking demographic. I'm sorry, they're one of the most racist demographics of people, and it produced fantastic food. The hate there's a way that hate kind of like it almost marinates like the mind in a way that is just so sick that it creates something beautiful. It's almost like how like Van Gogh, Van Gogh, he's like cutting his ear off and like diddling women or whatever the fuck he did, but he made great art. It's the same thing for the Italians. You were a part of the you were Gestapo Nazi, like whatever you want to call it. Same thing. You're Italian Nazis. But the reason that it's kind of like okay is because they're like, here, what about like eggplant rollatini though? They came here and it was like, yeah, I know. It killed a couple of Jews. But what about lasagna? You like lasagna? And then we kind of forgave them. Okay? Not that, it's, I don't need to quantify everything that I say. Don't take it so fucking literal. But hatred creates fantastic food. You know how good the kebabs probably are in Iran? They're probably fucking good. And you know what? The worst part about me is that I'm gay and I'm a white guy. And if I could take that part out of me and kill it off, I would, because I want the kebabs in Iran. I want the kebabs in Iran. Get it? The best food in the world comes from a place of hate. And I can prove that with two things. One, you ever had good Swiss food? No. Because they don't have enough. They have hate, but it's not enough. Okay? You ever have good Finnish food? No. Norwegian food? No. Polish food makes the cut. They had hate for the Nazis. So they make the cut. Pierogies are good. I like pierogies. Japanese food? Real good. A lot of hate. Same thing for Thai. Thai food? Pretty good. Not too shabby. Vietnamese food? Don't even get me started. Pho? Have you had pho? It's great. And it's great because there's hate. It's great because there's hate. That is the point that I was trying to... It's a joke, okay? It's a fucking joke, so don't come at me. That is the point that I was making. And, also the other thing that I could easily say, which I wanted to say so badly, but I didn't want to, make a complete ass of myself. I'll say it in a second. I sit down, and Ghost is like, well, peace and love, creates the best food. You know why chicken's so good in the South? It's because, they had love. They had to dip their toes into everything in the Lord. And I'm like, they had good chicken because they were getting fucking abused. They were getting abused. There was hatred. That's why. That's fucking why. And she's trying to tell me that I don't know, Krispy Kreme is so good because it's made with love. First of all, it originated in the South, and there's a reason they both Krispy and Kreme start with K's. You get it? There's a reason. There's a big fucking reason. Chick-fil-A hates the gays. Why do you think that fucking sauce is so good? Why do you think Chick-fil-A is so delicious? It's because there's a little bit of hatred. Enough to produce something beautiful. Enough sickness to produce beauty. And she just wasn't understanding my point. Okay? So she's like, yeah, well, Krispy, and also the whole time that she's trying to make this argument that Domino's is better than the regular pizza that's here. She's like, it's made with love. It's made with love. Is Domino's made with love? Because I've seen the back of a Domino's, and you're lucky if they're not spitting in your fucking pie. I have seen Let me tell you something. If you think, if sorry, it got a bit cut off. If you think that Papa John's makes good pizza because they love who they're selling the pizza to, you're out of your fucking mind. You are out of your mind. And her Ghost's argument is like, well, you know, like Krispy Kreme in the South, they have. There's a reason it starts with two Ks. Don't come for me like this because I know what I'm talking about, and when I'm making a point, even if it's silly, it's because it's right. It's funny because it's right. The point. Krispy Kreme, and also every fucking thing you could tell that she just like does not know what good food is because every single like place that she brought up was like Dunkin' Donuts or like a fucking Krispy Kreme or like I don't know, Domino's, Pizza Hut. No, you know why no one out Pizza's the Hut? It's because they're a little fucked up and they got a lot of hate. That's why nobody out Pizza's the Hut. It's not because it comes from love. Nobody working in that kitchen has love for their job. Give me a fucking break. I've had enough. I've had absolutely enough. So I'm making like a silly point, and you know people are laughing because it's funny. It's funny. And she like goes off on like this fucking insane Jesus tangent about like how like love is like peace and peace is air and you breathe love and if you breathe love then you'll just change like your mind and God and like Christ. And I'm not sacrilegious. I pray at night. I do things. I prayed a lot in my life. Not a lot, but I've prayed somewhat. And I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. I don't want to get smited. I don't want to get fucking, you know, fucked up by the wrath of God. No one does. But don't sit here and fucking like prophetize to me, if that's even a word. Prophetize, whatever. Don't sit here and fucking act like you're all high and mighty and like you have some kind of moral high ground because you love Krispy Kreme. Dummy. Okay? It wasn't made with love. It was made with hate. And you know how it was made with hate? And this is the point that I made. And then she said something that really sent me up the wall. And then that's when I became so not so nice. It's made with hate because my mother is a great cook. My mother's a great cook. That's why you know it comes from hate. Because after a week long of being emotionally toyed with and abused, my mother would make maybe the best steak that I've ever tasted to date. She would make maybe the best meal and salad and steak and it's the fuck you meal. It's the concept of the fuck you meal. It was a spiteful action. It's not because there's love. It's because there was a little bit of hate. And she just wanted to own me in that way where like even though I was winning the arguments, I still had to eat her food and still kind of wanted to because it was that good. Because there was some hate. And you know, it'd be like I'd be eating and be like, fuck you for fucking, what is this? What kind of steak? What cut of steak is this? You know, like it was a distraction from the fact that I knew I was right. Do you get it? Do you understand? Like, am I not making sense? That is exactly what all of the meals that came out of these places filled with hate. That's what they are. It's an icing on the cake. It's a fuck you. I know I'm wrong, but like, this bolognese is gonna make you bust in your pants. That's what it is. This bolognese will gape you. Do you understand? Like, was this not a funny point? It was like a funny point. And then she like goes in on me and is like, well, you gotta understand that your mother like is not, you know, she has her own traumas. And oh great, and the fire alarm's going off because he's burning the shit out of my pan. He's burning, I live with the most insane, I live with like a witch, a Mexican, and like a drug addict. Like that's who I'm living with. Whatever. But, I'll get into that later. Yeah, Yeah, she's gonna prophetize to fucking me, whatever. She makes this whole point about how my mom's got her own traumas and her mom was probably full hatred to her, and she loves me, and that's why, like, no, Ghost, you got it backwards. You got it back. My mother had deep hatred for me and destroyed every extended relationship that I had in my life. Okay? There's a hatred there, and she still loves me, and I still love her. But that's not where the good food came from. It came from some real sick fucking place. So don't tell me that. And also, keep my mother's name out of your mouth, ho. Out of your mouth. You don't know her. And I'm not coming here and talking about Mama Ghost. Okay? I'm not talking about Mama or Daddy Ghost. I didn't come down here and fucking start telling you about love and peace and forgive your mom and kiss your dad on the mouth. Like, I didn't fucking... That's not what I'm saying. And that's not what I did. And, like, I came down and I got, like, attacked by, like this, you know, her and, like, the Jesus queer. And whatever. So I sit down and I'm just, I don't know. I'm, like, kind of poking fun at her. I'm not trying to be, like, sacrilegious. It's kind of a bad look. But I am kind of poking fun at her. And, like, I'm like, bitch, I'm making a fucking funny point. Don't come at me with, like, forgive your mother. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just don't. So whatever. She's like, oh, it comes from love. It comes from this. And, like, the whole time, there's, like, two people there that are, like, trying to, like, run this meeting. And I'm like getting angry. I'm, like, getting a little upset with her. And just kind of poking fun at her. And she's like, well, you'll understand one day that, like God, like, peace is glory to glory. Like, you ever see that episode of Rick and Morty where they're like, glory's peace? Like, she literally was fucking doing that shit to me. And that's fine. If that's what gets you through the day, good. Go to church. Do it. But don't you come down here. Listen to me closely. Do not come down here and talk about my mother, who I may love or hate, and try and, like, fucking rebuttal the fact that I was making a point about how, like, Krispy Kreme hates blacks, and fucking tell me that, like, the answer to that is, like, my mother is, like, to be forgiven. That is not the way. Like, play the game. Play the game, bitch. You got a brain in your head? Play the game. But I shouldn't have expected her to have a brain in her head because she tells people to call her Ghost. And ghosts don't have brains. Ghosts don't even have bodies. You think ghosts are allowed in church? I sure don't. Do ghosts eat the Eucharist? She, like, comes down. She's, like, talking about, like, and then, get this. So, like, they're, like, leaving because I poked a little too much fun and they're a little bit sensitive. A little sensitive. God is not sensitive. People were killed in the Bible. And you'll get killed too by the same God, dummy. They get a little sensitive, and they, like, both get up. And, like, the one kid next to me, the fucking Jesus freak, he's like, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You have had a cock in your ass, okay? I know what it is. I am a gay man. I get the vile, dirty, nasty sex. Like, don't fucking act like you're all high and mighty. The city of Sodom was not, you know, it's in the Bible. And it's not New York. Well, it is New York, but it's not loved like New York. If that's even still true. Don't come at me and tell me that you'll pray for me. I almost got the fuck up. First of all, to prove my point, I could have said one thing. I could have said one thing that would have proved my point about food. And I'm gonna say it. It's 2 words. Mario Batali. Case in point. Case closed. Shut it. That is the fucking truth. I am the truth. Ghost. Should have called her Holy Ghost. The Jesus freak's telling me, like, he's gonna pray for me. He's gonna pray for me. Because I need prayer. I pray myself. Shut it. You're gonna pray for me. I almost got up and, well, bless your heart. Well, bless your heart. That's what I should have said. I should have said, bless Bless your heart. I wish you well. Because it's fuck you in nicer language. It's a fuck you for, like, religious people. I'll pray for you. Fuck you. Done. Done with you. I got a feeling he's not going to hold... He used to hold the door for me. I guess he thought, like, maybe I was cute or something. He wanted to, like, you know, like, put his dick in my mouth because he's so holy. He would, like, hold the door for me and, like, say hello to me. And I think that that's gone. I think that I've lost that. And, oh, well. I'll be... Guess what? Guess what? If you hear this... If you hear this... I'll be praying for you, too. Okay? So he, like, gets up. And then he, like, goes over to her. And she's like... I got something for you. I got something for you. I got, like, a prayer book for you. And they're, like, walking out of the room trying to, like spite me by just telling each other that they got, like, prayer books for her. He's like, I got a prayer book for you and, like, some Ritz crackers that I'm going to bless with my pussy. Like, I don't get, like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Don't fucking try and, like, come for me by telling them that, you know, you, like, bought Eucharist on Amazon or something. Dummy. Big dumb idiot. And whatever. And the people that were, like, trying to run this meeting were like, guys, let's be respectful. I am being respectful. Maybe I'm not. I'm not. But neither are they. Neither is Mary and Joseph. The Holy Ghost. And her, like, leper sidekick. God, what a joke. And also, are we not in the same place? Was it God's love that brought you to the fucking homeless shelter? Shut up. You're a hypocrite. You are a hypocrite. Hear me now, ho. Hear me right now. You are a hypocrite. And yeah, I am in some ways too. But I didn't go out to lunch and then like put the bill onto somebody else like a fucking animal and then like come back and like tell everybody that like they need to forgive their mothers and let Jesus into their heart. You're a fucking hypocrite. Save it for yourself. If there's one thing that is more... You know what, by the way? Can I just say something, by the way? The most sacrilegious thing is like telling people like what God... Like you as a human telling other humans what God wants. Okay? You don't interpret the word of God. Neither do most priests. Maybe a couple. I don't know. I don't know how it works. But I sure as shit know he's not talking to Ghost. Dummy. Done with it. And it's like the whole time too. It's like I got Miss LeBons in the fucking corner. And she's like, well, I only had 2 apple juices. I guess you could have one. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Thanks. I can have a juice. Because you fucking like courted all the... Like the juice lord. Courted all of the juice. Well, I've only had 2, but I guess you can have one, Phil. I guess you could take one. Yeah, I can. I can, because you were only supposed to have 1, and I haven't even had 1. 2. Like she was going to have a 3rd. And then I said to her, I was like, you know what? You know, if you had 3 of these, it's like kind of less than... I kind of like tried to play into like the fat thinking. Like, you know, if you had like 3 of these, it's less than a Diet Coke, so it technically is healthier. And she was like, oh, yeah. God, the sickness in the room. The sickness in the fucking room. I literally cleared out the room. Like, they both left. The other dude that was there that was, like, laughing at my... Like, kind of laughing. Like, he kind of left. He's cool. I like him. And then my other buddy... Oh, and you know what? You know how I know I'm right? Because I got 2 numbers of two new friends now from that. Because it was a joke and it's funny. And you don't go to, like, a comedy club and, like, start screaming... like a fucking Israelite at the comic. It's just not, you don't, it's like approaching like fire with like wind. Like you're like kind of just making it worse. Like you missed the mark. You missed the mark. Mario Batali. Mario Batali. Okay? And then we're doing like a mirror activity. and we're doing this like mirror activity where we're like writing like inspirational messages on the back of like the mirror, okay, of these mirrors, so that we can look at ourselves. Because how inspirational is that? Looking at yourself. I'm not well, I am, but a lot of people are not their own inspirations. The mirror activity. And she like writes on the back of hers, Ghost we're talking about, not Laban's. Laban's was like not even writing anything literate. Ghost was like writing like there's only room for love in my heart, as she's trying to like spite me out of hate. So give me a break. And I wrote on the back, oh no, she wrote like the devil's not allowed in my heart. And I wrote on the back of mine, the devil's allowed in my kitchen. Because it's fucking true. It's true. You know what I listen to when I'm in my kitchen cooking and why the food comes out good? I'm listening to Tim Dillon Is Going to Hell. And it is full of hate. And that is why my food comes out good. I'm listening to Come Town, which is more funny than hate, but there's a level of hate there. They have a hate for Adam, I guess. That's why the food comes out good. Because I'm listening to a fat white guy scream at me. That's what I like. It's what I like. It's what I like when I'm cooking. Nobody respects, by the way, nobody respects a skinny chef. That is like the most disgusting fucking thing. It's like, what's the Kanye bar? It's not for me. Oh, great. You know what? Now, fuck, now I'm done. Now I've really done it now, huh? Bring up Kanye. It's like the Kanye bar, bar. Don't ever trust a bartender who don't drink, bitch. That's the line. So you know what I'll have to say to you, Ghost? Don't ever trust a cook that doesn't eat, bitch. You want a fat cook in the kitchen. It's the only thing that's important. No one that's shredded in the kitchen is making good food. I'm putting on the pounds. I'm putting them on. I know I'm thin. Not forever. There's a day coming for me where I'll be enormous. And you know what? I'll be full of hate and I'll be making better food than you, ho. So that's what I have to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Fucking trying to come from me. Please. I hate that. I hate like this like fucking... This is what's crazy, okay? The fake altruism, like the doing a despicable, hateful thing and then like trying to like hide behind like this like kind of like I guess, I don't know, like pseudo-moral like statement. Like it's like I believe in like throwing a stone and then like being like, oh, but I love Jesus. But then like throwing more stones, but then saying that you love God. Like that is really kind of like really the most disgusting thing to me. If you were really about that, guess what? You wouldn't have done that, period. You wouldn't have been prophetizing to people. If I asked, maybe. If I asked, and I asked her some legit questions too. I was like, hey, well, you know, you didn't get here from God, you know, you didn't get here from praying. You didn't get to the fucking shelter because you prayed. So like at what point did you start getting into like religion and stuff? Because you seem to be really into it. And I wasn't even trying to poke fun. And then they like everybody just kind of shut me down, silenced me. You know? So I don't know. Maybe they do make good food. Maybe they have, you know what? Maybe what I did was actually a good thing, because now maybe Ghost can go upstairs and make a fucking half-decent stir-fry. Okay? Because she's got a little hate for me. And good. She's better for it. She's better for it. But anyway, back to my point about the like fake altruism. I don't like it. I think that it is one of the most sick and disgusting things. And you can call me mean or that I'm an asshole or whatever. It's all fun and jokes and whatever. But the one thing that I won't do is take shots at somebody and then like try and hide behind the fact that like they like I love God or like I love something or like I'm like trying to like throw stones from a morally high place. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous and it's enough. It's a fucking enough. Know what you are. Know what you are, and if you don't like it, guess what? You don't go around pretending to be something else. Fix yourself. Do something. Work on yourself. Get a job. Get a fucking job, and get a grip too. Maybe you'll find that at Trader Joe's. God. I got put in this group chat, like, probably like, I don't know, 3 days ago. I get put in this group chat, and there's like a weird thing kind of in my family where it's like my cousin had a baby the same time that like my sister had a baby, kind of around the same time, and they do like this kind of weird thing in the family. I don't know what it is. I think it may be like a boomer thing where they're like comparing grandchildren now. Like it's like, I'll call them X and Y because I'm not trying to do names with this. I don't need to slander anybody and then tell them that I believe in God. They do this weird thing. Like X just had a baby. X will be my cousin, and I guess Y will be my sister. Like X will be like, well, you know, or you know what? It's not even my sister or the cousin. It's really the parents. Like my aunt and my mom like kind of do this weird shit where it's like, well, baby X is like looking a little too thin, or like is looking chubby. He's looking so chubby. Isn't that cute that he's so big? And then like my aunt will be like, yeah, well, you know, babies are supposed to be big. Like, Y's looking like a little bit thin. Is he supposed to be that thin? And then they kind of go back and forth with like these half shots at each other about whose infant is like healthy or like too fat. It's fucking grotesque. It's like insane. Is that not insane? So they like do this weird shit, whatever. I've tried to call it out. I get attacked every time I do, as one does when they speak out against the factions of power. And like I get put in this group chat and they send like a picture of baby X, right? And he's looking chubby and he's cute. He's got like a cute little haircut. And the one thing I said, I was like, oh, cute. Like, I like the haircut. He looks good. Whatever. And then like, not even 2 seconds later, my sister is like, well, you know, uncle, or fucking, I guess, my cousin's husband, we'll call him number one. She's like, well, number one doesn't, you know, he took a separate flight home than my cousin. Number one took a separate flight home. I'm sorry, what the fuck does that do? What does that do? You're poking shots at somebody's marriage. They sent a picture of a baby. A baby. I just wanted to say that it was a cute baby. I don't need to be in a group chat where we're like taking shots at somebody's husband or like their marriage or whatever. So I text very kindly, like, hey, I'm not really, like, take me, guys, if we're going to sit here and do this, like, just take me out of the group chat. Just make a new group chat. I don't care. I'm not trying to morally high ground anybody. If you want to talk about somebody, that's fine. I just don't want to be privy to it. I don't want this on my phone. And, like, do you. It's not a judgment. It's just I don't want it on my phone. And I'm allowed to say the things that I feel because it's still a free country to a degree. So I say that, and like everyone starts to fucking sick me in this group chat, and it's like, what the fuck? Like everyone starts to sick me, like I'm the bad guy, and it's like my mom texting me that like, well, number one doesn't even pay for his kids' diapers or like his kids' food, and like no one was even poking shots at anybody's marriage. Like we just love your cousin. We just love your cousin. That's why we're talking shit about her husband, because we love your cousin. It's despicable. It's disgusting. And I said that I was like, guys, I'm not trying to like throw shade. Personally, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck about number one or the baby or the cousin. They all can burn. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even know these people. I don't really care that much about what happens to them, which is why I just stay out of it. But like it would be different if I like knew them and like we talked and like I said I love you and they said they love me back. Then there would be a little bit more of a commitment there. But it's just there isn't. So and there isn't for any of them really too. They live in a completely different state. It's insane. It is insane. Talking about the fucking like my cousin's husband. It's like nuts. It's nuts. And they keep talking about like, and I'm like, guys, I don't care. I don't fucking care. They can both die. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. But don't like like send this picture of the baby to like get me to say that the baby's cute or whatever, and then like start talking shit about the husband, and then like hide behind the fact that you love my cousin when you don't. You fucking do not. You might say it, you might, some part of you might believe that, but you're not like reaching out and talking to her. If here's the thing, if you really did love my cousin, you would say something to her, or you would like text, I don't know, number one, like you would do something about it. And also that whole fucking side of the family is like a little nutty too. Okay? I'm not going to lie. They're a little bit nuts. My cousin has a very overbearing mother that doesn't even let her like breathe without fucking trying to control her. It's nuts. But like, so I can kind of see a little bit of where number one kind of, you know, whatever. I don't even care. I don't even fucking care. Just don't put me in the group chat. And I get like sicked. And then it's like my sister telling me like, well, then you don't got to respond if you don't like it. You don't got to respond. No, fuck that. Take me out of this chat. I don't even want to be in the chat. Stop making these group chats. It's not even like the first one where like I say the way that I feel, which somehow is different from like this fucking fascist side of the family. And it's like I get like sicked. It's just like, it's gross. It's gross. I wish them well. I'll pray for them. I'll be praying for them. I'll be praying for, and I hope, you know what? I hope they're praying for me. But they're not. I'll pray for them. It's a disgusting behavior. Don't do it. It's foul. It truly is foul. Anyway. That's just been like what's on my mind. It's been like this, you know, and that's why I'm a good cook. Because I hate a little bit. I have a little bit of hatred for like this bullshit. And that's why I'm able to, you know, make appropriate things in my Instant Pot and like cook a nice pasta. And I just figured out rice the other day because I got put in a group chat where we were like comparing babies and I just wanted to absolutely put a hole in somebody's head. Okay? So that's that. Done. Retired. I am retired. Everybody in my family is like like just some like cautionary tale. Some cautionary tale. And I wish I woke up sooner. And sooner or later, everybody's going to have to sober up. They're all going to have to sober up. The party's ended. It's been ended. Okay? It ended when Trump got elected and we couldn't shut the fuck up about that for 8 years, 4 years, whatever. It's done. I'm out. I'm like out. I don't want to be around you. I don't care. Like don't, you're like, God, I just, you know what? This is not even being like funny anymore. It's just kind of getting me angry. I'm going to move on. The other day I was at work and, these ladies come upstairs. Like I see my boss come upstairs and he's like, oh, they got to check like the AEDs. I work at a gym. And they were like, oh, like these, like, there's going to be people here to like check these AEDs. When I'm not even kidding. And I'm not trying to be fatphobic. I'm not. But like the two women that came up to check these AEDs were perhaps the most enormous people I've ever seen. I'm like not even kidding. They were maybe the largest walking human beings that I've ever fucking seen. They were like 400 plus pounds. Massive. I literally thought that one of them was going to like take out the AED. They were like out of breath from like getting off the elevator. It was like, I literally thought like one of them was going to like take the AED out and be like, all right, Jessica, now eat this Krispy Kreme donut and put yourself into a heart attack. And then I thought they were going to like test it on each other. Like Jessica's like on the floor gasping for air. Like the other one, I don't know. Jessica and fucking Kristen. I don't fucking know. I don't know. What's like a fat name? Oh God, I shouldn't have said Jessica. Fuck, I love Jessica Kirsten. I should not have fucking said. That's not what I meant. Jessica Kirsten's not even like big. And neither really, like, she's not even big. Like, I'm talking like 500 fucking pounds. Like, just how are you walking? Like that kind of level. I shouldn't have fucking said Jessica. Whatever. God, every by the way, every name that I'm about to pick out is like really gonna offend somebody. I gotta like be really smart about this. I guess Linda. I don't know many Lindas. I guess a Linda and Laura. Yeah, that sounds good. I thought Linda was like gonna give Laura a donut and like put Laura into like a fucking heart attack, and then like Laura's like help, 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 and like Linda's just kind of standing there and like, yeah, I don't think this one's working. I don't think it's working. And then she just mule kicks Laura in the fucking chest and like just restarts her heart. Like that's what I really thought was about to happen. And I just could not stop myself from picturing the two of them like giving each other heart attacks with like sugar and then starting each other's hearts to test the AEDs. It's like absurd. You have the biggest possible. Nobody gets into that, by the way. Nobody gets into checking the AEDs unless they have like a passion for it. You know what I mean? Like no fat person is like, let me go and be like an AED checker unless they like had like an arrhythmia. Do they have like a little like mini episode? Like they both had to have had a heart attack. There's no fucking shot. And it's sad because they were like in their like mid 20s, early 30s. Like God. Oh my God. But you know what? Can I just say something? I bet they taste great. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding. Give me a break. I've said that too much today. To give me a break. But it's true. I do need a break because everybody that I'm surrounded by is like a fucking moron or like just some like it's just like insane people everywhere. And I'm not the insane one, but everybody tries to make me seem like I'm the insane one. I'm not insane, said the insane one. No, I'm not like that out there. I feel like there's a guy at let me tell you something. There's this guy at my gym that I work at. He's like a trainer. We call him the Conqueror because he's just like this fucking smelly oaf. This like smelly fuckboy retard. And he first of all, I knew he was dumb because the second that I saw his handwriting, it was like ridiculous. He's like writing down like his clients like alcohol intakes on like these like pieces of paper. And it's like, Jeff drinks 2 beers per week, 3 shots of alcohol on the weekend. And there's like letters backwards. It's like, it looks like a lemonade sign, but like, it's like insanity. So this big dumb idiot, he tries to like talk to me all the time. And it's, you know, it's whatever. I say hello. I'm nice. I have nothing against you if you're like disabled. I mean, I don't know if he is, but he probably is mentally kind of disabled. He's not, but he is. And like, I'll talk to him because I'm not an ass. I'll try to make conversation. But the other day he was like telling me that like, these are literally what he said. He said, if I was the Grand Wizard of Lifetime, which first of all, immediately is KKK reference. Okay, dummy. And secondly, like, what are you fucking talking about? So he's like, yeah, if I was like the fucking like the Grand Wizard of like Lifetime, I would like immediately kick that Asian bitch out. And he like points over to this girl that like, she's like clearly autistic. She's like this autistic Asian girl that like comes in and she's like, you know, she's powerless. It's like the one thing she probably has in her life, but she's got like a SpongeBob backpack and she's doing like a dance to like clearly her like K-pop playlist. Like she's like not all there. And he's like, yeah, like I kicked like that Asian bitch out because she's like a freak. She's like a little fucking like weirdo. A little bit of a weirdo. I kick her out. She like lays on the floor. She lays on the floor. And he's like looking at me to like vindicate him, like laugh at him. I'm like, okay, what? He's like, yeah, she's such a fucking weirdo. She like lays on the floor. Maybe you should lay on the floor, dummy. She'll kick you in your throat. She'll kick you in your damn throat. And then do a little K-pop dance on your corpse. Do a little da-da-da-da-da-da, or whatever, I don't know. Is that racist? Cancel me. It hasn't even started. It's the first episode. I'm already getting fucking... Whatever. Yeah. This fucking guy's like out of his mind. Yeah, she's like a big... She's a fucking like weirdo. She's a weirdo. Right? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know her. What are you talking? I don't just attack people based on what I see. I don't attack people based on what I see. I attack people based on when they start prophetizing to me about Christ. That's when I start attacking, because I'm like, I already heard you. I already heard stories about you, you dumb hoe. Don't fucking come for me. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so hung up on this girl, because she's like really just like a bum. But like, don't come for me, because it won't. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm really not. You don't believe me? Ask my mother. I'm not the fucking one to do this with. I will burn bridges, and I have. I will burn everything to the ground. I do not care. And if you think I care, you're fucking wrong. And if you think God loves you over me, no, I'm playing. But whatever. Yeah, this big dumb oaf, big fuckboy idiot, like talking about whatever. He was like telling me about his like plan for his like vacation. He's like, yeah, look, and also he's rich, which just like really ices the cake, because I'm like, how the fuck do you have money? He's like, yeah, so like me and my friends, we're gonna like go like to Aspen. We're gonna ski, and like when he like always sounds like he's kind of drunk. He's like, when we like ski, we're gonna like I told him not to like drink too much, because like the altitude will like maybe like not like it's not gonna be like helpful, the altitude, because like it'll make you like sicker. And I'm gonna like not drink and like snowboard. Kind of talks like this. It's like the equivalent of like with a girl, like everything's a question. It kind of talks like this, bro. It's like this. I'm going to somehow I can afford Aspen, but I don't deserve to be there because I'm a big fucking idiot, moron. Whatever. God, what hell this is, truly. I forget who said it, but life is suffering, and I said it just now. So, we're going to wrap this one up. I think it's been a pretty good, this is a good first episode. I don't know what will come of this. Maybe I'll do more. Maybe I won't. And either way, deal. Because I got a lot of hate. And if it's not coming out in the kitchen, it's coming out on this podcast. And you better believe it. You better believe it. Okay? Batali. Okay? It's time for me to go. I've ran out of hate. I've ran out of steam. I need to go out back into... I need to go back to Times Square. That's where the real fucking hell is. That's where the real hatred comes out of me. And we'll talk about that next episode. But I need to go because I'm feeling pretty good. I've gotten it out. I've purged it. It feels like every single time. Like, it's like when I jerk off, there's a moment when I come where I'm like, that was the hatred leaving my body. Like, that was the vile, intense day that I had just shooting out of my body. And... like, what does it taste? No, I'm kidding. And it's not, that's kind of the same feeling that I have when I come and when I come, but also when I, talk about these things and when I'm making jokes, when I'm talking about the fact that, like, the fucking Japanese, like, what the fuck is that called? Kamikaze pilots are the reason that Nobu exists. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where that comes from. It comes from its own place of sickness and hatred. But you know what? It's beautiful. And it's a lot more beautiful than that fucking dumb tattoo you have on your face, ho. Okay? That stupid fucking pen tattoo that you got of the cross underneath your eye. Good night.